How did you avoid, with this book, making it frightening? Because my worry was always that a book about worrying would make the child worry much
Yes,
more.
exactly. Well, when I first started work on it, I looked up on the internet all the order of worries that children worry about, the top 10 worries. And I thought, well, that's what I'll have to choose, because obviously they'll have the resonance with the most children. Then I thought, hang on a minute, do I really want to give a child who isn't frightened of death or being on his own, why would I want to suggest that that's a good thing to worry about, or a typical thing to worry about? And that worried me. It was a very worrying book to work on. And so then I thought, no, I don't want to do obvious worries. I thought I'll do ridiculous worries, worries that very few people, indeed if anybody, will worry about. So Willie is shown worrying about hats. So hats are floating around his bedroom. Or he worries about shoes, and the shoes walking out from underneath from his bed, walking up the wall and jumping out of the window. So I wanted to make the worries as kind of ridiculous and silly as possible, so that I wasn't giving any child any unnecessary worries.
Well, I think, again, we've got the use of black and white to differentiate these worrying pictures.
To show that these weren't real.
But then we move into mum and dad and colour, and there's warmth. And
yes, they're trying to reassure him. Yeah.
Yes. But Willie also, Billy.
Freudian slip.
Billy also, he worries about himself a lot, and then he starts worrying outwardly.
Yes.
And that's really important in
yes.
the story, isn't
He's
it?
he eventually stays at his grandma's house, and he can't sleep, and eventually he plucks up courage and goes to tell her. He feels silly, but she says, no, you're not silly. When I was your age, I used to have worries just like you. So she went into a bedroom and came out carrying these little worry dolls, gives them to Willie, explains how to use them, and everything's fine. He sleeps very well the next night and the night after that. But the night after that, he lays awake worrying. He's worrying about the worry dolls. He's worrying about all the worries that he's given to the worry dolls. So this is the beginning of his change. He starts to worry about somebody else. Instead of worrying about himself, he is worrying about the worry dolls. And eventually he solves the problem by working all day on something. We can see him at the kitchen table. He's starting things and it not working out, and he's having to start again. And eventually it's succeeded. He makes a lot of worry dolls for the worry dolls. So they have worry dolls themselves. And that ultimately is the beginning of the ending. And then after that, Willie didn't worry very much at all, and neither did his friends, because he made worry dolls for all of his friends. So yes, it's turning his inside.
Moving them out.
Moving them out. Kind of maturity, kind of growing up, I suppose.
And